Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for staying, and I'd like to thank IMEC. Over the 10 years that we've been doing the adoptership program in the Philippines, IMEC has been a great partner to us, allowing us to bring some of the boys, we also do orphanages and shelters in addition to the schools, to bring some of the boys from one of the shelters into MOP. And I'm so thrilled with that because now 12 of those boys are on board ships. So it's been a wonderful journey with it, and our partnership now has reached another level. IMEC has confirmed and they have begun financing the adoptership program in San Pedro, which will bring sustainability to it. Adoptership is a program that started in Cyprus, and we're very grateful to the Cyprus Shipping Chamber and CIMEPA for allowing us to use their basic program and adjust it to what we would do in other areas. They celebrated 20 years of continuous use of the program. It's shown very good results, and many of the companies in there that are participating there are now participating in adoptership programs in Greece and also in the Philippines. The adoptership program is an idea where we can go a little bit deeper to introduce the maritime community. For many years, we used to say we were going to keep fishing in the 17-year-old pond and expect a difference. Now we're starting when the children are 10 years old and following it all the way through high school. Let's see, what do we do here? So the challenges, the problem. Shipping is an invisible industry. And when you're invisible, you become vulnerable. We saw it during COVID. We're seeing it now. Many years ago, 70s, I worked with an airline, and we had problems hijacking and things, but we never felt we were alone. Someone would always come and take us out, and they did. But now we've got 15,000+ trapped in there. And all they hear on the newscast is maybe one quick sentence. There's 15,000 seafarers, or one sentence in a 2-paragraph. We don't have this importance that the others have because we are invisible. So if we can start doing this and become visible, we can move it forward. And why does it matter? It matters in every aspect. It matters in your recruitment. AI is here in its some form, and it's going to get more important. So we can't go back to we don't want the best and brightest because we can't keep them and we can't afford them. We need them now, and we need them more than ever, and we will continue to need them more. So if we're going to get more of the best and brightest, that seed has to be planted deeper when the children are younger. And when they start to go older, they may want to come forward. In one of the previous sessions, somebody said that when I was 4 years old. So that's what it is. We can plant that seed so we're going to get more of the best and brightest. When the young ladies come on board the ship, they're going to know exactly what is required. Now, in terms of morale, you might get that second or third officer who's a little bit lonely, nothing going on at home. The captain can say, we have these questions from the children at this school. Can you answer those? And then the children respond and maybe send them a poster. And all of a sudden, he's got something or she's got something to look forward to. In terms of retention, you're much, much more likely to stay in a job if you feel respected by your community, if they understand and think it's important. They may envy you. You're a senior seafarer and you got a beautiful house, nice wife, and a car, and you never work when you're home. But there's a big difference between envy and respect. When you're in a position of respect in your community because of what you do, you're much more likely to stay in it. But that can't happen unless we have awareness. As part of our mission as IMO Goodwill and Maritime Ambassadors, and I'd like to recognize the IMO Goodwill Ambassador, Captain Oleg, for what you've done. Congratulations, sir. He's done so many more important things. Wonderful man, always inspired us. So part of that mission is to look at the IMO and the United Nations Sustainable Goals. Number 4, low-income areas. 5, gender equality. 14, life under the sea. 15, partnerships. So when I designed this version of the Cyprus Shipping Chambers program, I tried to inject those in there. And in the 8 years I worked in building the shipping KPI program and into manager as the chairman of that, it drove into my head, if you want to know if you've done something well, you've got to be able to measure it. And before you can measure it, you have to define it. So we did KPIs with our program. So here we are looking at invisible, you become vulnerable. And underappreciated, you're undervalued. So we've got hundreds of thousands of seafarers, but usually unseen. Even if people wanted to go in, they couldn't see them in a port. So the adopter ship, what we have is a senior officer on board the ship, usually the master, exchanging an email with the teacher. They send them the morning report, so they get the longitude and latitude. The teacher shares it with the children ask questions, the teacher formulates those into adult language, sends it across to the seafarer. He's got a week to respond to those 4 or 5 questions, and the process goes on. We give them a 2 by 3 meter map, and they follow the ship around the world. So it's a fun way to learn geography, becomes alive for them with the social science. And that carries on as we go into the higher grades. There's never any direct contact between the children and the seafarers. So it's always through the teacher, so there's no liability with that. So we try to look at that side. This has been endorsed by the Secretary General of the IMO, went to Cyprus, I think in 2017, came there and they liked it, and those pictures are on the IMO website. I was part of a working group at the United Nations. We explained it to them, and they praised it. They praised Intermanager's program for children. It's one of the very few times the United Nations is actually giving us some praise, and it's real. And then we have the program that happened with Poland. Intermanager had a program with it, and the Cyprus government going forward. So many other stories and other people that go into it. But when we look at the program, so we've got 37,000 children in the program. That's more than 10% of the population of that city. And as they move through in 8 years, we'll have about 30 to 40% of the population will have actually been through the program, plus their parents, the teachers, and everything going with it. So it's a meaningful entry into the program. And what we did with those 37,000 children, and this is getting to the KPIs, we gave them a test and a survey to measure their maritime awareness. And it was so kind for 4 or 5 different countries collaborated to make those definitions and those statements about what is maritime awareness, what is maritime appreciation. So we've got the baseline, we ran the program, and at the end we give them the same test. So it's objective data collected. We've got millions of data points on that, showing that it went from about 30% when they first started, up over 90% when it finished. So it's there, all measured. Impact analysis, all the data is there. A lot of anecdotal, the kids had fun, the teachers like it, and the superintendent wants to continue with the program. So what we combined is these 28 schools, all the public schools in the city, with these 12 companies. So each company has 1, 2, or 3. And many of the companies spoke today. Marlowe actually does 3 schools. Columbia's in there, ASP, all of these companies, Bernard Schulte, they're there and they're partners. So they come to the opening ceremony, the children get to meet them, they get to meet the children, they get into activities somewhere in the middle of these 8 to 10 week programs, and then there's a closing ceremony. So the children, the teachers are meeting the seafarers via the program, and then they're meeting the executives from the companies. And the executives usually bring cadets in or seafarers to actually talk to the children. And there's a wonderful interaction with it. It's not the total solution, but it is a solution. And the wonderful part of it, it's scalable. We have free maps I can give you. I bought the worldwide rights to them, so you get them. You can blow them up electronically, put logos on them. We've got tests, we've got surveys, we've got all the tools you might want to use to bring it to other areas. And we've got references with it. So it's not the total solution, but it's part of the solution. The goal number 17, sustainable goal partnerships. It's been part of what I've done my life. My customers from Ridex and Newslink and Seagull and all the companies that I would have owned and operated have become friends. And now, in this stage of my life, they become partners. And they joined us to actually go into these programs. And so when they gave us the award for partnership, it doesn't belong to me and our team. It belongs to all of you. It belongs to IMEC. It belongs to MOP. It belongs to Intermanager, because you're all part of what made it happen. It takes a village, and that's what's on the brochure. So we're very grateful for this. The plaque you see outside is the actual plaque that we got as the award, because it went to all of you. These are the companies, and all of them stating what they did. Each one of them has a story, and I was looking at Columbia on the stage here and remembering the first time they started, they said, well, we've got some used computers, we'll give it to the school if they can use them. And then about a year and a half later, we were in a closing ceremony, and I was in the school head's office. And they had these beautiful trophies. I said, that's lovely. Are the computers still working? He said, well, those trophies are from that computer. Because we got a computer, we now have a literary club, a journalism club. And so when I went out, and Columbia didn't know this, Senator Lines, I said, can the children here, or students here in the journalism club stand up? And then it's, where did you get these? Well, we started a year ago. Do you know why you started? Well, somebody gave us computers. It's these wonderful people up here, and this is the story, that they actually won all of these trophies because of that. Marlo introduced me to so many different shelters and other things we could do. Bernard Schulter, Anglo-Eastern, over every one of them, ASP, every company has come and made an impact on it. And it's available for you. It's not an expensive program to do when you look at the relativity. It costs about $2 per child to go through the program. And everything is there for you. So I'm sorry I had so many more things I wanted to put in here, but I realize I'm standing between you and everything outside. Again, I thank IMEC. Our journey has just begun. I'm thrilled about it. Our team is thrilled about it, for you to bring your magic and your knowledge and experience that you have to the children there and others around the world. The children are our future. So we're invisible. You can change that. It's up to you. Please take that journey. I promise you, all of the things I've done in my life, nothing has been as satisfying as this. When you get to do that, it stays with you. God bless you.